guys, I've just moved house and my whole body aches. Oh, fuck it. Now I've lost my handstokkie in alles. Obviously, and closed it so it all fell out. Well, here we are. Yeah. Because the universe decided for when we move that it must be like torrential downpour of rain and freezing cold, and my son must be sick. It's been a time, guys. But let me tell you, when you move, the best kind of car you can have is something, well, besides like a bakkie and an ant, but when it's pouring with rain, a Fortuna. Hey? Or Fortuna. Oh, I spat when I said that. So I was very grateful for this. I did like loads of like, loads of loads. Eh? Anyway. And it like, I even was able to keep Luca in with his car seat and then put the other two seats up, which like really, I love the sort of combinations, that you can go with. The only thing is that I remember doing this test, I think, with the previous generation Everest and it was this generation Fortuner, is that the seats, fold up against like that. I can't remember whether it was Everest was the better one with those seats, because, like they were, I think you could take them out, or they were flat or something. I can't recall. One of you will tell me in the comment section. I have no doubt about it. So that was the only thing, is that you had to maneuver around that. So if I had something really big and wide, I wasn't able to get it in. But other than that, it actually went pretty smoothly thanks to this car. But now, as is the usual with Toyota, they love to give their Hilux and Fortuner a little midlife facelift and update. In fact, they like to give them millions, it seems. So this is just another very subtle update to the Fortuner. So it's got things like new 18-inch alloys. It's got a redesigned sort of front bumper and grille. The LEDs have also been updated, and then the indicators are now like synchronized or something, like, a whole bunch of stuff there. You can also get it in two-tone on some of the models, like this, black and white. And then for the interior, the only real update is this, that you can get a black and white two-tone leather vibes. I don't know what it is for me that it just outdates the model even further. I think it's because of the color. It says red and black. This is the maroon. For me, maroon's not a pretty color. It's not modern. It's not fun. It's not anything. So I don't love it. But anyways, here we are. Now, bearing in mind that this competes with the Everest, right? Not the new Everest. Oh, yeah, it can't. Even if it wanted to, it just cannot. Like the Everest is now just leaps and bounds ahead. It's now competing with the likes of like the Prado. Like it's just not in this. The only thing that they have is that they can go off road and they're like 7 seats and. But like just the screen, for instance, like, and the interior of this is just so old now compared to that. Obviously, that's a new model. Okay, it would be only fair to compare, when the all-new Fortuner arrived, But even then, I'm not so sure, because, again, Ford will have you believe that they're no longer trying to compete with a Fortuner. They're actually wanting to compete with the Prado. So, yeah, okay. But that's it. That's all the changes, guys. So, end of review. Huh. Some of you are going, yeah. But no, I'll still chat, okay, because that's what I like to do. Something to consider, okay, still, is that this will continue to do bloody well. Toyota fans and people who love Fortuner love them. In fact, I had a friend buy one the other day. Do you know? And if you're a Toyota fan, I just don't see you going over to Ford. So I don't know. Oh, there's my best friend, Esti. Hi. She never knows who it is because I'm always in a different car. So the top of the range Fortuner is still 50,000 Rand cheaper than the bottom of the range new generation Everest. So this, like the top of the range, which is like the 2.8, the VX 4x4, etc., that comes in at like 916,000. So you're going up to like almost closer to a mil. You can get one of these obviously for like 653,000 rand, the entry level sort of Fortuner, and obviously pre-owned, big market for these guys. Most of the friends that I have that have bought them pre-owned. Hey, I need to get like richer friends, man. Now that I think about it. Jokes. Yeah. So I just think that like these, like the Fortuner is still so trusted. It's reliable. It's proven itself. You know what I mean? People like really, you can't really put a price on that because it's people's peace of mind and security, right? So that's where this fits in, and you can't really compete with that. Yeah. Just gotta stop at a pedestrian crossing. Okay, guys, we stop at pedestrian crossings for people, especially, okay, but for anybody, but especially if there's like a woman with children. Cyclists, listen up. You stop. Oh, I feel like I have that vent every time, but I'll get off that train for a moment and let you guys get back to your daily lives.